FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
This show is brought to you by Borderless Holdings, the place to go if you're looking for wearable wealth, bullion, and off-store storage for your precious metals. That's borderlessholdings.com, or call them at 855-604-6343. That's 855-604-6343. I'm Kerry Lutz. You're listening to the Financial Survival Network, and it's time for another Triple Lutz Report. This is episode 355, and we're talking about NSA spying. Are you on the list? Am I on the list? Well, the odds are probably a lot better that I'm on the NSA list than you are, but who knows? But I think you are going to get a chance to find out, and so am I, because I'm quoting Glenn Greenwald, who used to be with The Guardian. Now he's with a news site that he set up, and he's saying, as with a fireworks show, you want to save your best for last. And he's the one who's published most of the documents leaked by Snowden, and he says that his best is a list of American citizens surveilled by the NSA. Greenwald says that he will soon publish the list on the website The Intercept. One of the big questions when it comes to domestic spying is who have been the NSA's specific targets? And I'd like to know that too. Are they political critics and dissidents and activists? Are they genuinely people we'd regard as terrorists? And what are the metrics and calculations that go into choosing those targets? And what is done with the surveillance that is conducted? Those are the kind of questions that I want to still answer. This is Greenwald being quoted. And Snowden, who worked for the NSA, was a relatively low-level contractor, is unlikely to have been aware of the most unscrupulous specifics of any targeted surveillance. Similar leaks in recent past have centered on the government's monitoring of Islamists in the vein of Anwar al-Awlaki. Greenwald's list will probably fit into this trend. But look, we're going to be able to tell a lot from the names there. Is Rand Paul on it? Ron Paul? Is Doug Casey on it? Is Mark Skousen on it? Is Jim Sinclair on it? Am I on it? Who knows? I mean, I've only interviewed about 300, 400, 500 different types of people with different views, libertarians, anarchists, you name it. Is Jeff Berwick on it? Is Mickey Fulp on it? Who knows? But I'll tell you one thing. If you believe in sound money, if you believe in libertarian ideals, as I do, and as you probably do if you've listened, does that make you a target? Well, based on the things that have been emanating from the bowels of Washington, from the NSA, there's a good possibility that it does make you a target, and you have a right to know. And I have a right to know. So let's find out about it now. And this is going to be one of those moments where if they've just been willy-nilly targeting millions of people out there for no particular reason other than you believe in limited government, constitutional government, you believe in the right to carry, to purchase self-defense tools pursuant to the Second Amendment, you believe in the Fourth Amendment, you believe in the 10th Amendment, you believe in the Constitution, you believe in limited government, and you start seeing all these names coming up, guys like Judge Napolitano, then when all these names come up, there is going to be hell to pay. Andy Hoffman thinks, so it's my name comes up, it's just going to make it harder for me to get a job. Well, I was never going to get a job anyway. And if you believe in a gold standard, does that make you a nut job? Does that make you unemployable? I think that there will be mass dissatisfaction, mass anger, and mass repudiation of your government if a lot of normal, everyday people wind up on this list. I really do. I think that the fallout from it is going to be huge. I think it will be much bigger than this stupid prisoner exchange that took place just this week. It's going to be huge. And if everybody on the Mises Institute website is a target, if everybody on the Ayn Rand Institute becomes a target, if Yaron Brook is a target, it's just going to be huge. Because these are people whose only crime will have been that they've spoken up, that they've written, and that they've communicated with you, that they've given you a message. These will truly be, their main crime is a thought crime. And even the sheeple of America who are busy boozing it up, drugging it up, or whatever, they're just not going to put up with it. They're going to awaken. You're going to become fully energized and charged, and it's going to be the end of this. I'm telling you, this will be huge. This is the moment that I've been waiting for from the moment these NSA disclosures started. I thought a lot of them to date were interesting, but not particularly surprising. I always assumed that when I spoke on the telephone, when I tapped on the keyboard, when I sent a text to you, when I sent an email to you, there was always somebody listening. I just assumed this, but all Snowden's disclosures merely confirmed what I always suspected. But now this list, this is the biggie. This is for keeps. This is what you've been waiting for, what I've been waiting for all along. I wish it had come out sooner because the public has kind of lost a little bit of interest in this. But let's see what happens because it's going to be huge. I'm telling you that. We're not just talking about DJs, talk show hosts. I mean, we're talking about everybody that holds an offbeat, non-mainstream media opinion. Even the media will have to stand up and take notice of this one, although they haven't to date. And really, if they don't now, it's totally going to marginalize them because lists like this are just too big for even them to ignore. But hopefully it'll come out soon. My guess would be sometime after the fall, after Labor Day weekend, when everybody's back from their summer stupor and finally getting focused onto what's going on here. Really important news and things that you need to be aware of. This was in multiple sources. And hey, getting back to fracking here. Good article on Michigan Capital Confidential. This is a news service for the people of Michigan from the Mackinac Center for Public Policy. Mackinac Center for Public Policy, I think, is partially funded by the evil, devil-worshipping Koch brothers. Some people call them the Koch brothers. I think the proper name is Koch brothers. They exploit the earth. They've been known to drill miles into the earth to extract oil, which is then used to power cars, to take people from point A to point B, which is just a terrible thing because cars put out pollution and, kill babies and, it's just a horrible thing. But false fears about fracking. They quote a publication called Bridge Magazine, publication Center for Michigan, had a recent series of articles on hydraulic fracturing. Fracking is just a name that the left created to make you scared. And the author, gave some interviews. But of course, they go back to Gasland, which was a movie financed, if I'm not mistaken, by some Mideast oil interests. If it wasn't Gasland, then it was Matt Damien's movie about oil and fracking. And in the movie, the money shot is there's a man there shown turning on his faucet and lighting the methane gas coming out of the faucet. And we have a troll that listens to the show that thinks this is science. And the fact is, this has happened for many years before hydraulic fracturing ever took place. And this is supposed to make you scared of fracking. Oh my God, they're going to frack in your neighborhood and gas is going to come out of your faucet. And the fact is, nothing could be further from the truth, because this happened and has been happening in places like Weld County, Colorado, and in Pennsylvania and other places for going back to 1965. The Michigan Department of Public Health put out a pamphlet back in 1965 warning about flammable methane coming out of faucets. So 1965, there was no fracking. They didn't have hydraulic fracturing. They didn't have horizontal drilling. So we'll talk more about this next on the Financial Survival Network. So while you're at it, right now in the process of buying some silver, even though Bob Hoy said silver is going to lag gold, I'm not sure about that. I think that silver has bottomed. I'm going to buy it from Borderless Holdings, my friend over there, Seth. Not buying a huge amount, but I think at under $19, it's a steal. Maybe I'll buy a little bit of gold as well. But we're looking at gold. I think I agree with our friends over at Charles Nenner that gold's probably going to bottom in July. Bob Hoy thinks it's already bottomed. I think it's got a little ways to go, a little bit under 1,100, rather under 1,200, in that mid 1,100 range. Although Martin Armstrong thinks it could go down to 1,000. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking the bottom is in July. That's where my money's at. So a little bit of gold, a little bit of silver, probably not a bad thing. So Borderless Holdings, I trust them. Prompt shipping, great service. Seth's a great guy. Man, you place the order. They say it'll get it in 10 days. I've gotten it in less than a week from them. Call them now. Tell them Kerry sent you. 855-604-6343. 855-604-6343. They've got a great new website coming on the line. So borderlessholdings.com. And also talk to them about wearable wealth. Really the coolest innovation I've seen in this business, probably in 30 years that I've been following it. 30, 40 years I've been following gold. Man, it's a long time. Wearable wealth, the coolest jewelry, 24 karat gold. It's even better than the Indian, which is usually 22 karat. Indian jewelry, not known for its durable qualities. So the wearable wealth, in case you haven't seen it, it's these beads. They're strung on a very durable sterling silver wire, and the beads are exactly measured at increments, so you can take them off the bead and sell them. You effortlessly, legally pass through borders all over the world, and reasonably priced considering the workmanship that goes into this. 24 karat gold. You're just not going to find this anywhere else. Borderlessholdings.com, or call them. Call Seth over at 855-604-6343, 855-604-6343. I think they've extended the May special of free shipping if you order enough. So call them again at 855-604-6343, 855-604-6343. Enough of that. So getting back to fracking. So, the fact is, the gas has been coming out of faucets because aquifers around the country have been contaminated by methane, and fracking, hydraulic fracturing, takes place 2 miles under the surface of the earth. And the gas comes out of a wellhead that is drilled down 2 miles. So it's just not going to contaminate the aquifer. Okay, so enough of trolls. I don't want to hear about it. There is some concern about drilling and fracturing near false. I will grant you that, okay, needs to be studied more. As far as pollution and fish kills and all this other garbage, all right, unless you've got some hardcore scientific data, I'm just ignoring any emails that get sent and troll away all you like. Okay, so we've got numerous scientific experts here. Terry Engelder, a professor at geosciences at Penn State University, that all reasonably objective reporters regard the film as misinformation. We're talking about Gasland. Anthony Ingraffia, professor of engineering at Cornell University. In the strict sense of the word, that lighting water on fire has nothing to do with the word fracking. Donald Siegel, professor of earth sciences at Syracuse University, that while gas migration into home water supplies looked spectacular, when lit up like a candle, study after study has shown that many homes have groundwater naturally with methane in it, and many with methane sufficient to set on fire. So it's garbage, all right? Troll away. And the fact is that methane wells are sealed systems, very little leakage, okay? The water used to frack methane wells often is recovered, and companies like Ridgeline Services recapture that water, filter it out so that the water can be used again, especially in environments in parts of Texas and in the West where water is in tight supply, and it makes so much sense to recycle that water. Okay? So as far as the mudslide that took place in Colorado, they're pumping carbon dioxide into the ground, into abandoned wells, decommissioned wells, shut-in wells, to try to help global warming, which is, all right, I'm not even going to get into whether or not we have climate change and whether it's man-made or not. I think that's ridiculous, but fine. You want to believe it, believe it. If you think it's good to pump carbon dioxide into decommissioned wells, let's pretend you have an aluminum can and you're going to pump carbon dioxide into that empty can, and you're going to keep pumping it and pumping it and pumping it and pumping it. And then you think nothing is going to happen to that aluminum can, even though you exceeded its tolerances. That's what happened in Colorado. Okay? Not being a geologist, it just seems to make sense that there's a limited amount of carbon dioxide that an empty well can tolerate until that carbon dioxide looks for an escape hatch to take, kind of like your coffee pot. When there's air in the coffee pot, the old-fashioned ones, and you keep heating it up, eventually the air will expand to the point where it escapes through the valve, and you hear that whistling, or a tea kettle. Okay? So that's what happened there, and why they're using carbon dioxide in the ground is a mystery to me, but somebody thought it was a great idea. Somebody into climate change looking to repeal the laws of physics. Isn't it wonderful? So, hey, great thing happened in New York the other day. The governor of New York State, Governor Cuomo, Andrew Cuomo, he's starting to get a little worried about Astorino, Rob Astorino, Westchester County executive, who is also running for governor, and he needed the state working family vote. And in order to get that, he had to agree to increase New York State's minimum wage to $10.10. This is also 1010 Wins, a big famous news station in New York. So also he had to agree to allow localities to set their own minimum wage. And he sold out New York, so they're going to raise the minimum wage to $10.10 in New York State, and then they're going to allow Comrade de Blasio to raise the minimum wage. He'll probably raise it to $15, the idiot, because he thinks that you can just legislate wealth. And proven fact, you can just go to MichiganCapitalConfidential.com, or look on YouTube for Williams with Sowell talking about the minimum wage, and you're just going to have so much more unemployment, and you're just going to have kiosks in fast food restaurants all over New York City taking orders. And probably when you go to drive up windows in New York State and you push the button, you'll have a call center in Mumbai taking the order and transmitting it to an electronic burger flipper in the back, flipping burgers, getting your order ready for you. I mean, these people, these progressives, if they want mass unemployment, systemic unemployment, keep up the good work. You're doing such a great job. I mean, Comrade de Blasio, basically Cuomo sold out the state to Comrade de Blasio, and it's what you expect. Spineless guy, and he's doing a wonderful job. And New York, you're just getting what you deserve. And I'm so happy I'm not in that state anymore, because this is just what happens here. It's exactly what happens when you have progressives, collectivists running a state. And man, it just never stops. No wonder they're just trying to, they're running for the exits in New York State. It's just incredible. It's just really, it just never ceases to amaze me. What amazes me is how many years I lasted in that state. I can't believe how long I was there. But, hey, this is the way things work in the Big Apple. I mean, I'm looking at the New York Post, and it's just scandal after scandal. And man, it's so good not to be there. But hey, this is the way it works. So anyways, it's been another Triple Lutz Report. Kerry Lutz, signing off.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Are you worried about protecting your wealth against a dollar collapse? Worried about gold confiscation? Owings Metals provides wearable wealth solutions that will keep your wealth safe from a declining dollar and from a government that's getting more desperate by the day. The Indians have understood this for thousands of years. Americans are just starting to catch on. When you wear an Owings Metals 24-karat piece of jewelry, you can safely cross borders and take your wealth with you. Best of all, it's insurable, and unlike a lot of Indian jewelry, it's very durable. It can easily be disassembled and sold off in pieces if you need cash. It's surprisingly affordable and definitely should have a place in your wealth diversification strategy. Precious metals are like so many other types of insurance. You only find out how important and essential they are after disaster strikes. Call Owings Metals now at 855-604-6343. 855-604-6343. Don't wait until it's too late. 855-604-6343 now.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.